but it.
I've seen it a couple times.
Wait, what's the name of this movie?
It's called Greater.
It's called Greater.
It's gonna be horrible.
Hit the intro when you're ready. Welcome to the official Butthole Podcast, bringing you movies, video games, and randomness in between. Now bringing your hosts, Scott,
Hitler,
the Great Brandino, Jesus Rage,
Italy,
Shotgun
cartoon porn aficionado.
Yeah, Brandino is the Hitler apologist, I guess.
I was going to say that, but I am not the Hitler apologist. Okay.
Welcome in, everybody, to episode 227. This is the official Brandon's a Hitler Apologist podcast, brought to you by your favorite buds at the Butthole. Brandon is, well, he's on fucking
He's
probation.
on one tonight.
He's on probation. Brandon, what do you have to say for yourself? We just did an NFL episode where you just professed your love for Adolf Hitler to the entire world. Then when it was on video, too, so you can't back out.
There was no professing of love.
There was a lot of love professed in my eyes.
It was more like you wish he was still alive and not attacked by Agent Orange, or well, I was confused, to tell you the truth.
Agent Orange was a chemical that was used in the United States for like crops and weeds and shit like that.
Yeah, so what about Germany then?
It was it was mustard gas that was used in World War I, and that's why Hitler shaved his mustache into the style of mustache. That's all I was saying.
So you could live longer.
Wow, that's next level insight. That is science with the butthole.
I'm going to give Brandon the benefit of the doubt that he was just spewing facts because I know him and I think he's a good person. And
But what if he's not, though?
Star has a poor judgment of character.
So just in case you listened to last podcast live,
Episode 226, which was an NFL episode, by the way. It was a draft breakdown episode, and we got into World War II history.
yeah, it was a little wild. You may be a little confused on our stance. The Butthole has been anti-Hitler for a very long time.
since the start.
Brandon's statements do not change anything about that. We still stand anti-Hitler.
Correct.
Yes, we do.
Oh,
Correct.
we even get him to say it himself.
And you don't want to know what we're not anti? We're
Bad
not
movies.
anti good fucking movies.
Hell yeah.
We're all about good fucking. And you know what movie we watched this week?
A
A
good
pretty
fucking movie.
good
We
one.
watched a good fucking movie. Who picked that movie?
Star Lamar did.
Star Lamar picked that movie.
His boss ass pick too.
And the movie was?
Training Day, starring Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke. And he had Dr. Dre in there. Snoop Dogg was in it. Eva Mendes.
Snoop Dogg was the guy in the wheelchair, wasn't he?
That's a 5-pointer at least.
Eva Mendes is great. And I remember watching it on VHS. There's a scene later in the movie where she gets up quick nakedly and going frame by frame, just trying to see if I could
Super
see
slow-mo.
anything. My VHS wasn't good enough to see it, but if you do want to see it, check out, I think it's We Own the Night is the name of the movie, starring Joaquin Phoenix. You can see him in there. But back to Training Day. It starts off with a cop who has his first day as a narcotics police officer for the LAPD. I couldn't really get the drift of if he was like in trouble before or what, but his wife was acting like this is a huge deal. And, you know, it's a stepping stone to get to detective. And so it's a big deal. Phone call comes in. Charming man talking to the wife, makes her giggle, gives the phone to him. He says, I'm coming to roll. He says, we don't go to roll. Meet me at this coffee shop. Goes to the coffee shop. Denzel's there reading his paper. That's all he wants to fucking do is read his paper. But Ethan Hawke is just chatty Cathy. Keeps talking. This is where we're introduced to the dynamic between these two. Denzel plays this whole thing terrific. He says, tell me a story. I'm trying to get my story from the newspaper, but you won't fucking let me. So now you have to surprise me, entertain me. And he tells some story about working with an officer and a DUI. And you say you worked with a hot officer for 3 years and your best story is a DUI. Like, fuck out of here. And he makes them pay and they leave. And you're like, all right, this is a good movie. Perfect opening scene to get you excited for the characters you're about to see.
You got a dick, though, right?
Yeah.
And on each side of your dick, you got 2 pockets. Now pull out some cash and pay for my breakfast.
Perfect. They get in his car, not a cop car. He's driving. Do you guys know what kind of car it was? It was a Cadillac?
His Cadillac
Had the hydraulics in it, lifted up.
Yep. they start going. Denzel's giving his whole spiel about, what it's going to take to do this, all this, that, blah, blah. It takes him to a known site. And he's kind of explaining, like, you got to get people on the inside. You'll have to have informants and people that know you. You're not going to be busting everyone you see buying drugs. Takes him to a place where he knows there's drugs being dealt. One of his homies there. They chase one down. It's a couple of, like, college kids.
Yep.
He fucks with them, pulls guns on them. Kind of crazy to see, like, for a traffic stop for buying drugs, that they just pull up, guns ablazing like that. Don't know if that's realistic or not. But
they scared the shit out of those kids, too.
Yeah. He ends up taking some shit weed from the kids, brings it back to the car, and he says, is this when he does his wolf speech?
No, this was before that. This was when he's like, to be a narcotics officer, you have to have narcotics in your blood.
Yeah.
You have to know what it's like to have narcotics in your blood.
You have to know narcotics, and you have to love narcotics. You got to know what it's like. And he's telling Ethan Hawke to smoke it.
Quick adjustment. It was a Monte Carlo.
It was a Monte Carlo.
Chevy Monte Carlo.
Mm.
That's fair.
The grill and everything, the emblems they had, it all looked like Cadillac, but Chevy Monte Carlo.
It's Chevy Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo does have a kind of look like that, though.
Yeah, we had a friend, Patches94. He drove a Monte Carlo before.
Yeah.
Not going to confirm or deny that Cooter may have peed in the back seat and maybe lit it on fire once. But not confirming or denying that.
If you're lighting your piss on fire, you've drank too much alcohol that evening.
Yeah, because
he lit his piss on fire?
No.
Two separate occasions.
Yeah.
We will also say, though, it did smell like farts.
And whoever got that
The
car,
Monte Carlo?
No,
Oh, yeah.
Patches 94.
Not
No.
for Patches. Yeah, that scent doesn't go
Whoever
away.
bought that car, I'm so sorry.
They've
Not
passed-
for me either.
They've passed on.
Even the junkyard buys it, and he's
They-
like, "Holy
This
fuck!
thing stinks.
Give me $100 back."
Who died in here?
That motherfucker, you got in there, and it was just a strong stench of Patches.
So it's not until
Farts.
after Ethan Hawke hits the pipe.
Sorry.
Well, he's telling him to do it, and Ethan Hawke's like, no.
That's the
And
most
he's like,
I've
it's
ever
not,
talked to
it's
any
not a
of
test.
fucking movie review.
Yanks over on the freeway.
Says
Get the
about
fuck
farts.
out.
Yeah, he pulls the gun on him and says, if I'm a drug dealer, you're dead right now.
Middle of the intersection.
Middle of the intersection.
Just fucking wild.
If I'm a drug dealer, you're dead. You just said no to drug. Like, you have to do it. And he's, get the fuck out of my car. And he said no. There's a random guy in the car, like, honking at him. Pulls his gun up, points it at him, tells him shut the fuck up.
Just a badass scene.
Does whatever the fuck he wants, Denzel Washington. And finally he goes, fine, I'll smoke it. Now he's got them virgin lungs. He's coughing up and stuff like that. A few minutes go by. He starts getting all dazed and confused. And if you're watching it, you're going, that's never happened to me.
Yeah, I'm
when I've
like,
smoked
that's a
weed.
bullshit way to stereotypical
I don't do that.
I
And then he
didn't know
goes,
you want to get, you
Yeah.
got wet.
and he goes, what do you mean wet? Dust. PCP. He said, that was laced. It wasn't laced, but he told him that's what he just smoked. So he's actually high on PCP right now, going through town. I believe they first go to his friend's house right after he was high.
Yep.
Who's just an old man that they seem like they go way back, maybe as an informant of some sort. Sits down, pours him a drink. They're bullshitting. He tells him a joke that wasn't funny. And he says, once you understand that joke, you'll understand what being a police officer is. And he's just still high and nothing's really going on. They end up leaving there. They're driving.
Smiles and cries, bro.
Yeah,
About smiles and cries.
it's the only thing real in the world.
It's the only thing you can control.
Control is your smiles and cries.
And they're leaving and they're driving. And Ethan Hawke gets a glimpse out of the side of his eyes of this young woman being attacked in an alleyway. So he forces Denzel to pull over, runs back. It's an attempted rape by a couple crack addicts. He fights them all off, handcuffs them, or not handcuffs, but zip ties them down after he beats them up. And Denzel shows up laughing and ends up just like kind of beating on one and making them seem foolish and then let him go. And Ethan Hawke's all confused. Like, why'd you just let him go? He's like, I don't want to do paperwork on that. Like, they're going to be dealt with street justice. And that's when he gives the speech about
Wolves and sheep.
we're trying to protect the sheep by catching the wolves.
Well, we
And
can
then-
catch a wolf.
In order to catch a wolf, you got to be a fucking wolf. He's like, we're arresting those guys is not going to do anything. You want to do that, go get back in a patrol car. And on his way out, he does find the girl's wallet laying on the ground. And she mentions that she has cousins that are going to kill these guys.
They're gang
Little
affiliated.
foreshadowing coming up. So he gets back in the car. They pull up to our friend Snoop Dogg, who calls out Ethan Hawke immediately for being a cop. I think he's asked for $20 of crack or something like
Can
that.
I get $20 of marijuana, please?
Can I get $20? $20 of what? Of crack?
Man,
Get the
you
fuck out of
pig.
here, cop. And, he just starts wheeling away.
Snoop in a wheelchair. Fuck.
They start chasing him down, which just seems weird because he seemed like a threatening person. I don't know why Denzel was so gung-ho to get him. He rolls into like a antique store type of thing, thrift shop, maybe.
It's tough to tell.
Yeah,
They
you
had
can see him.
clothes there too.
See him shove something down his throat. Ethan Hawke gets to him, searches him, finds nothing. Denzel goes, "You have it on you." Takes a pen, shoves it down his throat, makes him throw up, finds it, eventually gets a name of a person that they go to their house. So the whole idea of it was to get the name of this higher up drug dealer. And so he goes there, takes a restaurant menu from the restaurant they're at for the cafe, pretends it's a warrant, breaks into this house. Macy Gray, another co-star of it. Macy Gray was playing the wife of this drug dealer. Goes, starts rummaging through the house, tells Ethan Hawke to take care of her. He's got the gun on her and her son. She starts to get kind of keen to this after she sees where he's looking and stuff like that. You guys don't have a fucking warrant. What kind of see the warrant? He finds something, shoves in his pockets, hands her the warrant and says, "Sorry, we were wrong. We have the wrong spot." She sees that it's just a menu, tells the hood to get him, get in a shootout. He's double glocking people, just walking outside his car. Not his first shootout. Did seem strange that no one ever mentioned the bullet holes in his windshield the rest of the movie. It's like your car has obviously been in a shootout, but no one cares.
Just gloss
How
right
does
over
it
it.
shoot through the back window but not the front?
That does happen from time to time.
Maximum velocity. I don't know.
Also
I
depends
was
on the
curious.
angle that the bullet hits
Science
the
with
glass.
the butthole here.
It does depend on the angle that the bullet hits the glass. Sometimes it will ricochet up or down.
So when Hitler invented the bullet,
Could have been
God.
self-defense bullets, maybe. Which actually self-defense bullets are used for in the
expanding
home,
on impact.
so they explode on impact, which will kill an individual, but it's supposed to stop from blowing through walls. I
That's
highly
correct.
doubt the guys on the streets were using self-defense.
But it's possible, though.
That is.
So he's actually stealing money from the house. Not as much money. He did say a number. What did he get? $100,000 from there or something like that?
I don't remember the number.
I think it was about 100.
It wasn't a huge number, but
Yeah.
they got some. And Ethan Hawke's
take
starting
it.
to get a little suspicious of him at this point.
ETH?
Starting to think, what is going on? Why is this happening? I don't know if I'm missing something here, but then do they go to the lunch with the higher ups?
Yes.
Is that pretty much next?
Yep.
So he's going and he's sitting down with an internal affairs officer, a high ups, and
He calls them the three wise men.
yeah, 3 wise men, bunch of old guys, and they looked at him and they said, "Oh, we didn't know we were having lunch with a dead man." And
You
kind
fucked up.
yeah, you kind of learned that he's in trouble with the Russians, and they said, "How are you going to get the money?" And he said, "Oh, I got a guy.
The insurance policy.
I got an insurance policy." So he leaves the 3 wise men, meets up with his team. He's the lead of 6 people. Ethan Hawke was going to be the 7th. Meets up with them. They make a plan that they're going to go back to that friend's house whom they were hanging out with at the beginning of the movie. And they know that he has a stash of cash in there. They're going to seize it and take care of him. Ethan Hawke thinks it's just a normal job that they're going to. So they end up going there. He tells them, well, first, Denzel didn't walk in, and he says, "You guys fucked up. Like, Denzel's going to have your ass. Like, we're brothers. Like, can't be doing this." And then Denzel walks in. He's like, "Have a seat." And he said, "I'm going to take that. You're not going to serve any time. This is what's going to happen." They chainsaw the floor. It looked like they were in the second level of a house with a basement, but somehow it was dirt right underneath them. So maybe they weren't. I know they looked like they went upstairs to get in there.
Maybe the house was built up on a hill a little bit, so they had to have steps to walk up there.
And
Could have
basements aren't common in the West Coast.
Not
Not at all.
No. West and south
Mhm.
and lower east.
Yeah, and East Coast
Yeah.
too. yeah.
Really only anywhere that's cold, basements are common because you have to go down like 6 feet or so.
to get past
Under the
frost
frost
layer.
line.
Yep. And then it's just another 2 feet to dig a basement.
Isn't that
A
wild?
lot of signs with the butthole.
What do we work in construction?
Fucking guys.
Yeah. So they grab the money. And then after that, they shoot the guy.
Hitler invented the
Well,
OG
he
basement.
wanted, what was the guy's name? Ian Book? No,
Ian
that's
Book's the quarterback from Notre Dame.
Who's the other guy with Denzel?
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, same thing. So Mr. Hawke, they wanted Denzel.
Ethan Hawke's a well-known diddler. You know that, right?
I do know that. They wanted him to shoot him,
Mm-hmm.
and he pretends to shoot him, and he's like, bang. And then all of a sudden, Denzel shoots him. It's like, I'll do it myself. So he shoots him, and then they're going and they're trying to pin the blame on Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, they took one of the other guys in it, and they said, "You want a vacation, don't you?" And they shot him twice. One goes through the bulletproof vest, and then they tell Ethan Hawke the story. They said, "This is what happened. He walked in, he got shot. You came in after, you heard the gunshots. You shot him. You're the hero. You get a Medal of Honor." And he actually grabs the gun from Denzel and points it at him and saying, "I'm not going to fucking do that." He's kind of a clean-cut cop. And then Denzel kind of drops the master plan on him. He said, "What are you going to say? You're going to say all of this stuff that you're involved in, and then they're going to drug test you and see you're high on PCP right now? Who are they going to believe? 6 decorated officers or a crazy guy high on PCP that's on the first day of the job?" It's like, "You've been planning this whole time." "Yes, I have."
And I said the whole week.
The whole week. And then, so they leave. He stays with him for some goddamn reason that I don't know. He basically said, like,
Well, the entire time Denzel was telling him the only way you're going to become detective is by working here for like 18 months. You have to work through the streets, earn the respect of the guys that you're going to be working with, and then you're going to make detective. So he's like pulling him along to get this higher
You worked
position.
for me for 18 months. I'll make you a
yeah.
detective.
And he basically made it sound like this was a rare occurrence, and this isn't how they do. He always dropped his, "I have 245 convicted cases. I have 1,000 in the works."
Felons,
He's like,
yeah.
I have a whole laundry list. Like, I actually do police work.
How many felons you convicted?
Yeah. This was just, he needed that money. So it was a robbery to get that $1 million that he owed the Russians. Well, you don't know that yet, though. We just know that he owes someone money. So he leaves. He gets in the car with them. What was the purpose of going to the Hispanics' house?
I'd get a little smash action with this lady.
The ones where he just dipped on them?
Oh, no.
The card game?
He gave them some money though, didn't he?
They're his boys.
Yeah. He dropped off. It was a
Family.
blender that had the stuff in it.
Taking care
he
of the
was
family.
taking care of the family.
Taking
'cause
care of the
one of the
family.
informants went to jail that he was working with.
So he just seemed like he was spread out all over the place, and he had connections with every and any affiliate
Yeah.
that was involved in
every
crime.
type of gangs, top, down, bottom.
covering his own ass.
Yeah.
And the one he didn't was the Russians. And you do find out he killed someone over
All
the
right.
weekend, right?
Not yet. We don't know that.
You do find it out here.
You do find it out here soon.
In this scene, I think you do.
Yeah. So they go to this house that he's taking care of his friends. He says he has to go to the bathroom or something. They say, "Hey, sit down and play a game of cards with us." They're kind of just fucking with
Your
him.
boy's taking a shit. Come on,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a while. Sit down.
They get him to give him his gun.
He wins the first game of cards though too.
Yeah.
3 of a kind does beat a 2 pair.
Two
It is
pair.
Tuco is insane.
2 pair. Fucking idiot.
He plays that role very well.
And so they kind of revealed to him the whole plot about he was in Vegas. Some guy was popping off to him. He killed him. And the guy ended up being an important person. And the Russian mafia basically said you have 24 hours or maybe it was less time or more time than that.
By the end of the night.
To bring us $1 million or you're dead. So there's a certain drop off point in time that he had to meet and give him money or he was dead. And after Ethan Hawke realized this, he realized that, It's just not going well. He tries to go get Denzel, and they said, he's gone. He looked out the window, saw the car was gone, realized it was a hit. That's what the money was actually for. Puts up a little bit of a fight, but not much of one. They put him in the bathtub because it's an easy cleanup after you shoot someone. Is that a fact, Brandon?
The science checks out, I think. I would assume, depending on what you use, that you'd blow a hole through the bottom of your tub.
Was it a porcelain tub? What was it made of?
Porcelain will shatter, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You would assume that where they put it was a shotgun, 12 gauge, that if it was birdshot, it probably wouldn't go through.
It'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Science checks out on that one.
Well, they're right about to Scarface him in the bathtub. And Hector from Fast and Furious goes, let me rob him first. Super convenient.
Yeah.
Rob him afterwards. That money's not going anywhere.
Well, then it's all bloody. You want clean money.
Don't shoot him by his wallet.
They weren't going to.
You never know where the...
Exactly. I just think it's a little loophole that was super
I
convenient.
think it's experience. You're not pulling out a bloody wallet. You just get the clean money.
Yeah. While doing it, he finds the wallet of the girl he saved from earlier. He tells them the story. They're like, bullshit. But the guy whose cousins decided to make the phone call.
He's the boss, kind of running it too.
Yeah. He figures out that he's telling the truth and spares him. Says, you did that for me. Thank you. I can't kill you. You saved my little cousin from getting raped earlier today. He leaves. Now he's just on a vengeance mission. I don't think he cares what happens to him.
Shotgun plugged in his face. He thought he was dead already.
Yeah. So he's like, I got to go take him down because if I don't, he's going to come after me again.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just going to give up. So he heads back to Denzel's hometown where Eva Mendes lives. Who I didn't even mention when they went to there earlier. He went, saw that.
That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah. He's told him, oh, you don't come here by yourself. You won't be welcome.
In, one way out.
Yeah. And Ethan Hawke even said, oh, I heard you had a whole platoon if you wanted to come to this area. Kind of, please don't go there. But he's allowed there. He lives there. Starts walking up. Everyone's kind of chirping at him, but no one's doing anything. He gets to the front gate of the house, and the three guys said, what are you doing? And he said, I'm here for, I can't even remember his name, Denzel. And they just let him by. And that's the first, Alonzo. Here for Alonzo. And they let him by, and you're like, oh, these guys might not have his back the way he thinks he has his back. You know, sometimes you rule with a hammer fist. People are going to stab you in the back. You got to rule with love.
Just like Germany and Russia.
All you need is love.
Except one of them was an
all
iron
you
fist.
need. Gage, hit me on the backgrounds. Love is all you need.
Love.
No, you go, love is all you need. In
Oh.
a higher pitched voice. You don't know that Beatles song?
Try again.
Can we have an intermission star for some sing-alongs?
I'd do it, yeah.
All you need is love.
Love.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Nailed it.
All right, copyrighted by the Beatles now. This whole
We're not
thing's
getting
been
money
taken
from
off
this
YouTube.
podcast. Damn it, we needed that.
Taken
quarter.
down off YouTube.
If we get copyright infringement for singing like the Beatles, I am guilty.
There's creative ingenuity on that one. That's our own song now.
So Alonzo is in the house. He's in the back room with
They don't have
Eva
harmony like
Mendes.
us.
And Ethan Hawke walks in there, tells the Alonzo's son to hide in the closet, get down low, stay away. He goes in, he busts in on Denzel.
And naked, even
Fuck.
Mendez.
Yeah.
So there's at least
did
one,
it.
there's 1 point there.
You passed.
10.0. 10 out of 10.
Alonzo's
Can't see
so
anything.
quick.
I tried.
That's street smarts, man.
I tried.
He was, yeah.
You're in. It
You're
was
in.
all a test.
You're a narc now. No, put the guns in the pillowcase, the money in the bag.
Ethan Hawke wasn't having that shit.
He gets close. He flicks the cigarette in his eye, which ensues a shoot-off.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because he had the shotgun under the bed. He was
Swivel
pulling them
shotgun.
out everywhere. He said, okay, I want the one on your left leg.
Yeah,
I
on your
want
hip.
this. He knew where all of his weapons were from the day with him. And then, he finally makes his move, throws a cigarette, jumps on the ground where he had a swivel shotgun on his bed, fires it. Ethan Hawke escapes that. A running pursuit ensues.
After
Yeah,
a little
after a
shootout
shootout in the house, then Denzel sneaks out the window, goes up on the roof, jumps over to the next building.
I thought Pigeon Man was going to come in there. Just fucking weird ass dude with like autism clapping on the roof at the pigeons. He had a whole cage up there. I don't know what he was doing. It was like Rain Man-esque.
There's always a pigeon man.
I didn't see. There was the pigeon cage up there though.
Yeah, it was their first time through the scene.
I don't recall that. So then they get into the fist fight back and forth, and it looks like Alonzo he threw him through a glass window, which you would think would have cut his jugular the way he landed on that glass. Then he beat the shit out of him with the chair, almost threw him off the roof, essentially onto like a smaller awning of the roof, and Alonzo leaves. Goes into his car, starts it up, and fucking Ethan Hawke jumps off the roof onto the hood of the car, smashes the window, and then Alonzo's going back and forth trying to hit cars.
The shit out of his fucking Monte Carlo.
Yeah, and every other car that's on that street, trying to knock him off the hood of the car. Finally, gets that last one. They're both kind of really banged up. Ethan pulls him out of the car, starts beating the shit out of him, and then all the guys from around where Alonzo lived walked out and surrounded these two. And that's where Alonzo's like, hey, first one to shoot him gets a bag of money. And they all said, that's not how we do it here. You settle your own battles. Set the gun on the ground, told Alonzo he can get it. And he used, Hawke uses Alonzo's famous line. It was, do you want to go home or do you want to go to jail? It's like, I want to go home. Give me my bag of money. It's like, no, you don't get the money. You're either going home or you're going to jail. Then he walked away, and I don't know, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, the most like quoted line of the movie is
Sharks and minnows.
No, they pulled the gun on Alonzo and told Ethan Hawke to
get out of here. We got it from now.
We've got it covered from here. And then Denzel speaks the King Kong ain't got shit on me, which is I'm sure you've seen it in a bunch of movies and didn't even realize that it was from that. Malibu's Most Wanted. You guys seen that movie?
I run this shit. He's just,
yeah. He's giving this whole thing like, you guys would be nowhere if it wasn't for me. But it's really, he's bleeding. He's obviously defeated. He knows he's dead.
Hawke shot him in the ass.
He did.
Yeah. He was fucking bleeding out.
Shot me in the ass.
Somehow they let him go though. I didn't understand that. Like they still couldn't pull the trigger on him throughout the whole thing.
There would have been murdering a police officer.
He took his badge, man. He was still
just because you don't have your badge, you're still.
And the man was dead as it was.
Yeah,
he was a dead man walking, like they said earlier.
Out.
So they're like,
he pulls up to that stoplight.
Yeah, he's
White
driving,
chick, smoking a cigarette. Russian.
Then he gets swarmed by the Russians.
As soon as they come in front of him, he tries to whip it in reverse and get out of there quick like. The
Smash.
car's already behind him.
Yep.
Locked and loaded. They just come out with some 50-round mags. And
that Monte Carlo was through some shit, though.
It sure was.
And
it probably went through a few of them.
Still was hauling.
Dukes of Hazzard style.
Oh, yeah.
You take one of the best safeties from North Hollywood High School and you make him a cop, your shit's going to go wrong.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Strong safety, right?
Strong, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember the good ones.
Yep.
Was his name Ben, now that I'm thinking of it?
In the movie?
Ben Askren, you're thinking of the wrestler who fought Jake Paul.
It might be, actually.
So that's actually how the movie ends, and you don't get any closure. What happened when he got home?
Alonzo's full of fucking bullets, though.
Yeah, but I mean, did Ethan Hawke show up to the police station and they believe him? Did they say all the money? Did they say you're on PCP right now? Because they probably would drug test him after that.
Is that a little bit of a downer to a great movie? The ending?
No,
I thought it was a great ending.
I liked it a lot.
Sometimes it's nice to get closure on it, but sometimes ending it like that is a good way. I don't know how I feel.
Overall, you don't know. Scores.
I didn't think it needed to be longer. It was such an intense movie with a lot of intense scenes that as when it ended, it was almost a relief that, okay, it's over now. I thought Denzel was absolutely fantastic in it. One of the things that was bummer is that he lost. Even as the bad guy's kind of rooting for him to figure it out. Ethan Hawke's kind of boring in it. Just buy the book and
he's just super vanilla.
Trying to do it, yeah. And Denzel is
a wild card, baby.
Yeah. The reason you guys watched the movie, probably, if there was a boring character playing that same
person,
would have been a bad movie. It wouldn't have been as good of a movie.
Yeah.
So there's a little part in me that wanted Alonzo to, figure it out in the end and then have a sex scene with Eva Mendes. But
That's a lot of
You
part of
can't-
you. That's a big part of you that wanted
you
that.
can't win them all.
It's a growing part of you that
I like
wanted
it.
that.
I think it's great. I'm going 7-9.
Smaller growing part.
7-9.
7-9.
He
Dang.
just raged. You took offense to that. What are you giving it?
A little bit, yeah. I was in the high 8s. I was thinking like 8.6, 8.7. Eva Mendes, that's a rocker.
Brandino?
8.7 is my final score.
I was lower than that. I am actually going to give it 7.3.
Wow, we're all over the map with this.
Seems like it.
I can't change from my score that I was going to give it, but Brandon's low score makes me want to give it a little better, but I'll stick at what I was going to give it. I'm going to give it 8.2. I was thinking after he just gave that, I was going to be more like 8.5, but I'm all right with 8.2. I feel like that's a good score. Yeah.
It is great. I'm just trying to figure out what
I
boundary
don't
to
care
set.
anymore. Fuck it.
Just giving it because
You gave it
I don't even
8.9?
care anymore.
8.7.
Fuck it.
Scotty
Yeah,
gave it an 8.2, and you gave it a 7.9.
yeah, I think there's a certain type of people
What's that out
that
to?
need to drop what they're doing and watch it immediately.
That comes out
Yeah,
to
if
an
you haven't seen it, you definitely
8.03.
need to see it.
I definitely think there's some people who wouldn't enjoy it, but I figured knowing you guys as well as I do that you guys would enjoy it.
Yeah, it was a good
But
movie.
I don't think I'd recommend it to every single person that says, give me a good movie.
Yeah. It's one you would probably think of, though.
Yeah.
You'd think of it, and then based on who you're talking to, you'd be like, maybe not quite as much. But I liked it. I liked it a
That's
lot.
a great movie.
Yeah.
It had everything you were looking for. It had the action. It had the good guy, bad guy. It had the kind of the twist in the movie. It had tits. Like, what else can you ask for?
What was it, a
I mean-
2001 movie?
I think it's 99.
2001.
2001.
Yep, October 5th, 2001.
For it being
I
20 years old, too. Like, it's a good movie for that old.
I hadn't
Holds up
seen
pretty
it
well.
in a long, long time. I didn't remember the twist. If you're watching that thing, you think Alonso's good the whole time until, I don't know, the last 20 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
really don't know until he's sets him up to kill him, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's when you're like, this dude is
He's on the wrong
not
side.
yeah. He's not just using strange means to bring out the best in a police officer. He's just really a dirty cop.
Yeah, so it's got a really epic mind fuck in it. I think it's a great movie.
No, not a kind fuck.
It's an epic.
It was a
kind fuck.
generous fuck.
This is a kind fuck.
Speak
Thank you so much.
for this kind fuck that you laid upon me,
That's
Star Lamar.
shitty Apple products. Okay.
Brandino.
It rolls it out to an 8.0.
8-0, which is
And-
probably what it deserves.
What's
7-9 felt
I think we're way under on the IMDb.
we're
No, I
we're
bet
over.
we're right there. You were
We
over.
are over. Yeah.
You know we are?
What?
Okay.
It's a 7.7 on IMD.
We're damn close, but we're on the right side of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. After talking about it, I definitely should have put it at least at an 8,
That's okay.
but I said 7-9, and
It's okay.
I'll stick
You
with
have to
it.
live with that forever
I
now.
do.
Brandino, what is the movie that we're going to watch for next week? And we encourage listeners to watch it as well so that they
Also
can
send
submit
us
our
recommendations.
movie review.
Ooh.
Submit your movie review to us. We'll read it on cast if you submit us one. Just a couple paragraphs, whatever, with a score. And then also send us movies that you want us to watch because we haven't got a listener submission for a little while. So
We can almost
Quite a
take
while.
yours instead of Scott's because he never watched it.
Please.
I'm in for a banger this upcoming
Please
week.
send us one.
Should I give you a
Please.
We
teaser?
don't have HBO Max.
Should I give you a teaser for the one that I'm thinking?
For next week?
Yeah, I'll give it right now on the cast if you guys want to get a jump start on it.
Sure.
Gage, you got HBO Max? No, seriously, I got it. I'll
we
read
don't
it.
need the teaser.
Scott
This
does
is-
have HBO Max.
This is
It's true.
Brandon's week.
We all have HBO.
The movie is going to be on Netflix. 2016 movie. Faith and determination transform a talentless football player at the University of Arkansas into an All-American in the inspiring true story.
Peyton Hillis.
Greater.
Oh,
God,
It's not
this sounds like a
Peyton
fucking tear
that's
jerker.
Brandon.
This sounds like an eye waterer.
You're so full of shit. You didn't even cry at Big Fish.
You know what? It actually sounds
He
like
cried.
movies that your uncle.
I just want to admit that I cried.
Yeah, Uncle Luop is definitely into the Hallmark movies and
Yeah.
the touching
It-
your
it
heart
seems-
and other parts.
I've seen it on the Netflix banner, ticker, whatever it's called, a couple times, and I've gone over it. I never watched the trailer, but I saw who was in it, and I didn't know anyone, so I figured it's Hallmarky. That the fact I'd never heard of it.
Straight,
All
straight
right.
to video sort of deal.
All right, quick audible. I'm actually going to
What?
change.
No,
Yep.
I was kind of excited to watch
Nope.
it.
I'm
No,
changing
don't
it.
change it to that.
It's an arousing,
We've all seen it.
emotional western on the frontier of civil war.
No, we've all
soldier
seen it.
bonds with the Sioux
Fuck
tribe
off.
and adapts to their way
Sorry,
of life,
rap show.
becoming their ally amid growing threats. Dances with Wolves.
No, you're not changing
3
it to
hour
fucking
movie.
Dances with
Kevin
Wolves.
Costner.
Fuck that.
My review for that is a 6.
I
0.9.
I think I watched it once a really long time ago.
It's not bad, but I've seen it so much in school. Like, fuck that.
All in parts, though.
Yeah, fuck that.
So is
All
it
right.
greater?
It is greater. We're
All right.
sticking with greater.
Thank you.
Next week, Scott's picking Dances with Wolves.
That's why he was so against it.
No,
I just totally checked my pick.
I'll just say it. I'll just say what my damn movie's gonna be. I'm picking Kill Bill Volume 1 because I've never seen it before.
What's it on?
Hulu,
It's a good flick.
Cool.
and I want to watch it.
I can't remember it, honestly.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited
when I
for
say I
it.
don't remember a movie, it's like watching it fresh.
Kill
we
Bill
go.
Volume 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2 were supposed to be one movie,
That's
I
true.
remember that.
but it was too long, so they divided it into 2.
That's true.
So
Quentin Tarantino.
if you
right?
like it, definitely watch Volume 2. It finishes the story.
You don't have to tell me about Too Long.
Tarantino.
The Irishman.
Tarantino.
Too long.
All right, Star Lamar.
Go jerk off.
Bye. Check out our website, www.officialbutthole.com. We're on all socials at Official Butthole. Please leave us a rating and review on Apple
Boom.
Music.
Roasted.
And we'll see you next time.
Decals for your car?
I'll take one.
Official butthole ones?
Yeah.
$5. That just covers the vinyl. I don't even want to hear it. Or whatever.
Yeah.
But then the question is, what color do you want? I have one on my car. That's the same size. Yep. I don't know if I want to put it on my car. Hold on. There's I saw that. And
Lab's house.
well, if you want to wait and get it on your next vehicle, or if